1999, Daytona Beach, Florida. 18-year-old Kyle Petty runs his first race and wins. Grandfather Lee to his left, Father Richard to his right in Daytona's victory lane. Tonight, 18-year-old Adam Petty in his first super speedway race. Not his first race by any stretch of the imagination. Dad's looking on. Randy?
Well, Kyle Petty standing here. Kyle, 20 years ago. Can you believe it when you won your first ARCA race?
That's what I told you. All this hair that's in a ponytail right now was sticking out to here, man. I had the fro thing working, but yeah, it's been a long time. And that's why what's pretty amazing, first time I tried to run to Charlotte, I wrecked 3 times by myself on the racetrack. Adam's done a tremendous job, and free prepaid phone cards by Sprint, which was his ASA sponsor. They came on and said they wanted to run a couple of speedways, so here we are at Charlotte 20 years later.
This is a great division for youngsters to get started, and obviously you brought Adam along in this. He's done very well.
Yeah, he qualified well, and if he can run up front with the Mike Wallaces, with the Kirk Shelmerdines, with the Frank Kimmels, the guys that run up front, then that's where he's going to get experience. There's a great race car drivers, and they run so many different divisions. There's a lot of talent. So, you got to start him somewhere to get experience. He's not quite ready for Busch racing here at Charlotte yet, but maybe by next year.
Good luck, Dad.
Thank you, man.
Back onto the green. Quickly, Mike Wallace moves up to challenge Darrell Lanigan for the top spot on the outside. And big spreader up. Run it up on the outside in turn 1. Can be a little, trouble off the corner. That's Bill Baird.
That's our 49-year-old candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Other cars spinning to avoid as his car sits broadways across the track. 8 maybe involved in all. You see the damage. That's John Curley in the 99. Norm Benning is just piled in. I believe that's him in the 84 there. The 41 is Mike James, the Michigan youngster in his first race. The 19 is Kevin Counselor. At least a half a dozen cars all torn up there.
And almost Bill Baird spun, and he almost didn't hit anything. Slid halfway down the back straightaway. Just barely touched the outside wall, and then everything broke loose behind him.
He pretty much occupied what is the groove of the backstretch.
Baird was running 7th at the time of the accident, so a lot of traffic penned in behind him, and Baird maybe gets a little help there.
Well, whose corner was it?
I don't know.
Those things are so iffy, so difficult to call, but obviously contact there.
That's Bobby Hamilton Jr. right behind him.
Yep.
There's the first 360. He's okay here, but this is where he gets in trouble.
Boom, right there. Bobby Hamilton Jr. making his first start ever at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here's some more of it coming in now. Just bang, bang, bang from here on.
Here is the bang, bang. Watch the cars all having to shuffle down to the inside to miss.
Here's where it gets expensive, folks.
Yeah, you can see here, this car right here, the red car, I think it's number 99. He's the one that started to spin second, actually, after Bill Baird. And the minute he did that, with him spinning down the inside and Bill Baird on the outside, then it just blocked the whole racetrack, and nobody had anywhere to go.
Oh, that kind of looked like head-on.
Yeah, now there's going to be one more big wreck right up here. We're here, see the 99 car sliding back up to the wall, right here, on this white car, right there. Watch him go run into the back. I think it's Kurt Piercy. Oh, look at it. All right, see the pieces flying right there.
That's tough. You set a car sideways off that second corner. The back straightaway is not nearly as wide as it would appear when you look at it just sitting in the grandstands.
And it happens so fast. You think you have time to react, but it's happening so fast that it's just, you're there for the ride once you're sliding.
See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in that picture anyway, all torn up. Caution for the second time in the EasyCare 100 rather, at Charlotte. Darrell Lanigan, the pole sitter, leads at 10 laps about to be complete. In the pit road, heavily damaged, others needing the aid of a wrecker to get away from the crash scene. Well, we showed you a little earlier the list of those who have won here at Charlotte. Tim Steele, the dominant winner here, not racing tonight, was involved in a hard crash at the Atlanta Motor Speedway back a few weeks ago. And that right there was a very, very difficult lick, much harder than maybe it appeared at first. Because of that, Tim Steele is sitting on the sidelines for this race and decided not to come and enter tonight, even though he was originally supposed to be here.
Well, you have to remember that he was still sore from crashing earlier, late last year, and he just come back, in the middle part of the season this year, and then he wrecks again, and he injures his ribs again. So, hard to say how bad internally he's hurting, but you know, if he's not physically ready to go racing, I think the smart move to go ahead and park.
Another driver who's not here, also a winner at Charlotte, is Mark Thompson. And as we understand it, Mark is planning to make a return at Talladega. That is the next race on the ARCA schedule. It'll be great to see him back. He's always been fun to be around, a strong competitor.
Always really good competitor.
You saw the red flag being displayed as the cleanup work on the back straightaway will need to take a few laps up of this 67-lap race. So let's go down to Steve Burns and hear from some of the drivers involved, see if we can sort out what happened. Steve?
Alan, a lot of heavy damage to the number 7 car of Howard Rose. Howard, from your vantage point, what happened?
I don't know. We came off turn 2 over there, and my spotter was telling me, you know, we could see the smoke, and really couldn't see anything for the smoke. And the spotter was saying, go low, and I was trying to signal, and I got hit in the back end, turned the car into the wall, and I don't know. I got it to fire back up, turned back around. The whole track was blocked in front of me, so I probably wouldn't have made it through anyway. But I got turned into the wall before I ever got to the rest of the car. So I don't know what happened. I saw the 52 car out there, and he qualified pretty well. So it happened somewhere on in front of me.
Done for the night?
Yeah, Charlie doesn't run the points, and car won't steer to the right at all, busted the radiator and everything, so we're just going to park it.
All right, tough break. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Kevin Counselor also involved in that wreck from Naples, Florida, all the way here to Charlotte. It didn't last very long. Glad to see you're okay. Describe the accident.
I was going into turn 2, and my spotter yelled that there was a back it down, so we just started slowing down, and I came out of turn 2 and looked, and I was on the brakes as hard as you can, but kind of hard to get it slowed down at the speeds that we're going. And cars were just spinning everywhere, and one guy was stopped in the middle, and there were 2 guys behind me, came up on the side, giving me nowhere to go, but straight ahead into the car stalled in the middle of the track.
I know it's disheartening. Better luck next time.
Thank you very much.
Number of cars involved in this crash that has now put us under the red flag. You see David Boggs' car being loaded onto the rollback there. Brian Cahn's 10th in series points coming into the race. Counselor we just talked to. James, the Michigan youngster, making his first ARCA start. Also involved Bill Baird, Norm Benning, the car of John Curley, and the Rose machine. We just talked to Howard Rose a second ago, also involved in that crash. A couple of others might have gotten nicked up in that as well. We'll take a break under the red flag at Charlotte in the EasyCare 100. Only 11 laps complete. Plenty of racing still to good for the ARCA series at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. A multi-car accident on the back straightaway involving at least 7, maybe as many as 10 cars. It all got started off of turn number 2 when the 6th place running machine got turned around. That's Bill Baird on the outside in 6th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. underneath him in 2.
And there's the contact right there. So you call it at home, figure out who took whose territory away from him. But here's Baird on his way to a big wreck, not only for himself, but a whole bunch of people behind him. Brakes locked up there.
He will sit sideways across the racetrack in just a second, and then the other wreck happens, which is the whole field charging off turn number 2 behind him and having no place to go.
Yeah, you can see the cars going by him right now are making it fine, but right in here, this car right here, the 99, the red car, he's the next one to get sideways. Now watch, he's coming back across the racetrack, and he's closing up the whole main straightaway.
That's John Curley. He's almost got it saved there. Then it goes sideways on him again just after all those other cars committed to the bottom.
John Curley was making his first ever ARCA start here tonight at Charlotte.
And now watch. Now he comes back across again into traffic and takes out a couple more cars. You can see 3 more cars end up running into him right there. He had to feel like a pinball.
Oh, yeah.
So the car stopped on the front stretch down toward turn number 1 under the red flag. You look at the field of machines who made it through somehow. Most of those were behind Bill Baird when he started spinning, so those drivers got lucky.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, the first group of cars that were right behind Bill Baird were able to get underneath him, and then when the 99 car started to spin, it took away the lower lane where everyone was heading, and then it was just, you know, pot luck if you made it through or not.
Well, we talked about John Curley possibly feeling like a pinball there. I believe Steve is with him to find out.
The good news is, Alan, he just walked out of the infield care center. John, short night, what happened?
I was coming off 2 over there and just biding our time, you know, and trying to hold our spot. There was a car went around up in front of us, and there was 6 or 7 cars between us. I started slowing down and went to go down. You know, the bottom of the racetrack, the wreck was up in the groove, and we just got down there on the bottom where all the dirt was at, and it got away from me, or somebody may have got into me. I don't want to say that. Yeah, I think I just lost it down there trying to get slowed down too fast. And got back up in the groove and got run into by 2 or 3 of them. Tore our car up. I hate it for Sharon Supermarket and Kingsport Speedway, and I really hate it for Mike Potter, who we raced against each other up in the short track in Tennessee, and we went together, and he put me in this car. He had faith in me, and you know, it's just a big deal happening in front of us. I hate I'm the one that's in it, and I hate that, you know, that I know I didn't cause the wreck, and I just hate it when these things happen. But you know, they make sheet metal and roll bars every day, and we'll build another, and we'll come back and get them.
All right, John, best of luck next time.
Thank you very much.
John Curley, one of the drivers involved in the accident on the back straightaway that has put us under the red flag at the moment. Here's the way they came to the flag. Darrell Lanigan, the leader, he started on the pole and has led all 11 laps thus far, with Mike Wallace right behind him in second, Mark Gibson third, Andy Hillenberg fourth, and Adam Petty in fifth. Gus Wasson, you know, you talk, Dick, about him being a little concerned about having to shift the car. He's a sprint car driver. They only have, what, the in-out box. It's either in gear or out of gear. He did a pretty good job in those first few laps.
Yeah, he did. He's going to get an opportunity again to try and shift that thing, and eventually Gus is going to learn. Very focused racer. He has moved here to the Charlotte area, and he absolutely is intent on making a career of driving stock cars.
Look at the rest of the rundown. Back through Ed Curtis in 30th spot. Now, all of these drivers that you're looking at there, except Tom Erickson, involved in the crash. All their cars are behind the wall or on pit road at the moment. Our incident will start with Steve Burns.
Alan, with Norm Benning. Norm has been around a long time, but a short night tonight. From your seat, what happened?
I was running probably about 30th, I guess, and I saw somebody spinning up about halfway up the straightaway there, and I started checking up. I was pretty well slowed up and got hit from behind and driven into the wreck with a Newhart Air Clinic Chevrolet, Diamond Springs Water Chevrolet. Was running good tonight. We were on our way to the, you know, maybe a top 10. But, you know, it's racing. So.
All right, let's check in now with Randy.
Dale Baird also involved. One of the initial cars involved. What happened?
Well, had on the restart, the car in front of me didn't go real good, and so I just moved to the outside, and then my spotter told me there were some cars on the inside, and just went into one, you know, up in the upper groove, and held out there and way up, and I guess Bill Hamilton wanted to win the race early on for some reason, I guess, you know, and we just, hey, we're trying to win this rookie deal, and man, I can't get a break here. Come to Charlotte, run good, and for some reason it seems like I'm one of the first ones to get called up, and we deserve more than this. We raced all year to win this rookie deal and then get taken out here, so we got 2 more races, and going to, you know, go to Talladega next week. Don't nobody need to get in front of the 52 car. I've been too good all year long. I haven't never laid a fender on anybody, and it's going to change the next 2 races. We're going to win Talladega, I promise you.
Well, you could hear it in his voice. This guy, ultra competitive. He puts his heart and soul into this sport. This is what he loves to do, but he's not going to go to victory lane tonight.
He's about out of race cars, too. They destroyed a car last week at Winchester. He had a cut tire. This is a short track car. They're struggling to make the last 2 races of the year.
You know, he made a statement that he's going to win Talladega. He was fast in Daytona. The only other restrictor plate that the ARCA cars run is Daytona and Talladega. And, you know, he had some misfortune in Daytona this year, but he was the fastest car there. So he's got a good shot of winning it. Maybe he'll back up what he's saying.
Tough call, what he's talking about. Having somebody race inside of you, leaving him room, that's a tough judgment to make, because it looked like he was up off the bottom, and Hamilton had a right to think there was an opening there, but at the same time, when they got around to turn number 2, it didn't look like Hamilton moved up any either. They just were too close together. One of those things, but unfortunately it's torn up 10 race cars and put us under the red flag. Boy, who's in there enjoying the night? Back to Charlotte in just a minute.